You can almost hear someone say, it's the economy, stupid. Because that's what our world is focused on today. You can understand with me that money issues create far greater power than any other type of issue in our world. Makes perfect sense. When we get to that, you will see it very clearly. Okay, let's move on. Next symbol is 666. How many of you ever heard of 666? How many of you have ever consciously avoided a 666? How many of you have recognized that across the street over here, there are 3 buildings right in a row? One is 664, one is 667, and the one in the middle is 666 and a third. Have you noticed that? Right over here on Main Street, right up there, as you exit, you walk past, the Main Street area to get back to your car in the back. Notice that. There are 3 buildings over there, and the one in the middle is 666 and a third. Because they know if it were 666, you'd probably walk right on past. Now, I'm not going in there. That's the mark of the beast. Well, this is the chapter we get to talk about 666. It shows up right here. So I'm going to tell you what it means, sort of. It is a gematria, G-A, I'll spell that for you, excuse me, G-E-M-A-T-R-I-A. A gematria stands for when you convert the letters of something into numbers. Ancient peoples didn't have a numeral system like we do, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, skip a place, 10, 11, and so on. They didn't have a numeral system. And so what they did is, much like the Romans, you all know your Roman numerals, they had letters that stood for numbers. And the oldest system was the simple gematria system, where the first letter of the alphabet was worth 1. The second letter was worth 2. The third letter was worth 3, and so on. If it's a 10-based system, like ours is, then the 10th letter was worth 10, the 11th letter was worth 20, and the next letter was worth 30, and so on. So if it's a 10-based system, then they would do that. The Hebrew gematria system was 10-based. The Greek gematria system was 10-based. And so as you would go through the letters, each letter had a certain number value. And then if you add them all together, you could make a certain number. And so this passage is going to tell us that the number of the beast's name is 666. In other words, the gematria. That part we're sure of. It's a 3. Because the Bible tells us it's the number of his name. What's not sure about, what we're not sure about, is who in the world it's talking about. And so I'm going to declare this for you right now. The 666 is not intended to be a predictor of who is or is not the Antichrist, or what governmental system is or is not beast number 1. It is not supposed to be a predictor. Instead, it's supposed to be a sign, so that when it happens, we will say, oh, the Bible said it would. You follow me? It's not intended to predict anything, and I'll prove that to you, because for centuries, people have tried to predict who the Antichrist was based on the 666. I did a little bit of research, and I discovered, you might want to write down some of these names, people who have been the Antichrist in the past. We've got Adolf A. Hitler. If you get his middle initial, he's the Antichrist. But since he usually went by just Hitler, we can't do that, so Adolf A. Hitler. Yeah, he was the Antichrist, if you get that. Let's see. Oh yeah, Monsanto, the drug corporation. That's the Antichrist, 666. Let's see, New York, by the way. If you've ever been in New York, lived there, New York is the Antichrist, based on the 666 numbers. The problem is we have no idea what language to pick. Do we pick Greek? Do we pick Hebrew? Which language are we going to pick? And if you're picking a word like New York, which language do you convert it to in order to get it to the letters of the gematria? How many times do you get to try before you find a 666 or give up? Is it okay if you try it 6 or 7 times and find a 666, then you can declare it? No. It's never supposed to be a predictor. And so then people have given up on the 666, and we've got a couple other ideas for who the Antichrist might be. Let's see if this thing works. I found this dude here, and that's his website, one page of his website, and all of that text is him using gematria number systems to prove that he is Jesus. His name is Brian. He lives in Ohio, and I can't even remember the website. I've got it written down somewhere, so if you're interested in it, Twitter me and I'll send something back to you. But he believes he's Jesus because he found all the numbers add up to him being 888. And the Greek gematria of Jesus is 888. So anyway, there you go. Here's another one I thought might be interesting. I went to a website called the Gematriculator, which calculates websites to determine how evil they are. According to them, my personal blog site, jeff.michaels.cc, is 20% evil and 80% good. Right on. Apparently what they do, and then if you scroll, I didn't put the whole thing on here, but if you were to scroll down on that page, then it would show you all the individual numbers that it gematriized to find out how many 666s were on my page and other evil numbers. And so, I mean, it's just an astronomically long list of all of the things. Now, there you go. So I didn't try Google or anything, but I imagine Google's the Antichrist. So the Gematriculator tells me I'm 20% evil, 80% good. Here we go. I've got a whole long list of people who are the Antichrist. This was all on one website, and this one website declares all of the real Antichrists. I was confused by that, but apparently Alexander the Great is supposed to come back to life, and he will be the Antichrist. Or T.D. Jakes. He's going to be the prophet of the beast. Or maybe Joel Osteen is going to be the prophet of the beast because he spent one semester at Oral Roberts University, a mind-control CIA stomping ground. It says. There you go. A mind-control CIA stomping ground. Well, that's not all. There's more. I found that Pat Robertson is a beast prophet because the top picture, he's doing a Masonic salute. I guess I just did too. And then the bottom one, he's doing a satanic salute because he's going like this. And even though his eyes are closed and he's praying, you can see his eyebrows kind of go up like Spock or maybe Satan. So anyway, he's a beast prophet. But well, more than that, this website, the same website, declares Billy Graham to be the prophet of the beast. He is an Illuminati Vatican pawn and a 33rd degree Mason who's sworn his loyalty to Lucifer. Wow! Holy cow! And they pick, of course, very ominous photos there of him pointing at people and then looking very glazed over. Okay, so I thought this website was incredibly insightful in all of their research. And then I noticed at the bottom, there was a link on the bottom of this same website to another website. And I want to show you what that other website was. It is the Oregon